I became the Halloween party princess, and the tournament of quizzes and riddles just for me began. It looks like I get a medal for each puzzle I get right. If I get a lot, I'm supposed to get a wonderful prize from grandfather. Okay, here I go. Who should I start with? I don't think it matters. Start with whomever you like. I'd better think of a killer puzzle while I have the chance. Maria, didn't you have a quiz book in your bag? Oh, I do. Hee, I'm gonna give Angie a nasty one. Maria and Nathan laughed with an evil smile. Looks like everyone's going to try and bully me. I'm sure they'll think of some really hard questions. Don't worry, I'll lend a hand. Really? Of course. After all, I'm the princess's attendant. So let's give it our all together and get a huge pile of medals. Okay. Come now, Angie-sama. Start wherever you want. Is this what was written in the episode 8 description? I go to, I'm ready to challenge you whenever you please. Whoa, not so fast. The honor of the first audience with the princess belongs to me. And you begin with my challenge. Okay. I suddenly got tense and my stomach began to feel tight. Then Aunt Eva gently held my hand. It'll be okay. Let's do this together. Okay. Then let us begin, Angie. This is a story about December 24th, Christmas Day. Christmas? Even though it was October, he suddenly started talking about Christmas. Is he going to ask what day Christmas is? I know that. It's December 24th. 5th. On Christmas Day, a woman looked up at the night sky and spoke. Eventually the night will end and morning will come. Wouldn't it be wonderful if after the sun sinks and becomes night once more, it could be Christmas again? And then the man spoke. Okay, I'll make your dream come true for you. Is such a thing possible? The day after Christmas is the 26th, a normal day. That's impossible. Still Christmas even after the sun rises. Oh, I've got it. Huh? How? How can the day after Christmas be Christmas again? Think about it for yourself, Angie. You expected him to start citing the epitaph. That would be like hardcore level right off the start. Holy shit, what? Hold on, I need a beer for this. Notepad or Excel to the side of the stream? Why? So, pretty much the last thing I expected to happen in Umineko today was to suddenly get interactive parts where I have to solve riddles as a 6-year-old Angie, and I'm kind of loving it. But I mean, this is, didn't expect this to happen the game after all. You mean Notepad or Excel to the side of the stream as in where everybody can write something at the same time or something like that? I mean, that's the chat already. Not sure what you mean. On Christmas Day, a woman looked up at the night sky. That will end, morning will come after the sun things, and perhaps night once more. It could be Christmas again. Is such a thing possible? I mean, I would say no, but Eva interrupted her, so it kind of sounds like yes, even though I have no idea why. Does anyone have an idea? I mean, you could just give presents again, or just don't change the calendar if you have a tear of calendar. Hey, You know, I would have said it's impossible, but Eva kind of sounded like it was. So I'm just gonna cheat and say it's possible, even though I think it's not. Unless anybody has a sudden idea. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about the question myself. I mean, it sounds like the question is, it's Christmas Day, and kind of confuses me is that the woman is looking at the night sky. Then she says the night will end and morning will come. Then it would already not be Christmas anymore. And then she says, after the sun sinks. Does she mean after the sun sinks on the 26th and it becomes night once more? It could be Christmas again on the 27th then, or what? I don't know. It's possible if you just meet Okabe von Steinsgate, so yes. I see, it is possible. Yeah, that's right. After all, there are 2 nights in every day. There are 2 nights in every day? December 25th starts at midnight. Midnight is during the night, so that's the first... Why is it 12 now? Don't you mean 24? Midnight is during the night, so that's the first night. Then morning comes, and when night falls again, it's still the same day until midnight. I don't get it. They mean like the evening by night, or what? The night before midnight. Like... But how is that? Wasn't the question somehow different? In that case, it's not Christmas again, it's just still Christmas. Right? I mean, okay, so you say we have 24th and then midnight comes, so now it's the 25th and it's still night. Right? Then the day comes and then the sun sets and it gets dark again, so it's night again. But it is not midnight yet, so it's still Christmas. But in that case, it's not Christmas again, it's still Christmas. It's kind of weird. Maybe that made more sense in Japanese. Am I awesome? Am I awesome? With a delighted smile on, Eva patted my head vigorously.
Well done, Angie. I tried to make it a hard question, but you solved it like it was nothing.
Yeah, only because Eva said something. Congratulations, Angie-sama.
Here's a medal for getting the first question right.
Genji-san held out a gold-colored medal. Grandfather smiled at me, urging me to take it. Thank you. Save? Okay, I guess I can.
I'm sorry. Keep up the pace. Well, now that is all for my puzzle. Head over there and ask whomever you choose for a quiz.
It was a heavy gold-colored medal. If I get a lot of these right, my pocket might burst. I'm gonna get so many that I can't brag about it to everyone. After bowing to Grandfather, I hurried off with Aunt Eva to where everyone else was gathered. Kinzo watched Angie go with a warm gaze.
Did I make it a bit too easy?
No, I think it was just right.
Genji, have I managed to act the part of a good grandpa?
Of course.
Angie's young, and she frequently grows sick and is unable to come to Rokujima. She probably won't remember me well.
Young children have their own kind of cruelty. They think of kindness as something they'll naturally receive, and because they think of kindness as only natural, they forget about it quickly.
It is no different from gratitude to one's parents. It will probably take Angie-sama many years before she understands.
Do you think she will eventually remember that I was a fun grandpa?
Yes, I am certain of it.
Kinzo's expression grew slightly darker. Eventually, even Angie will get older, and she will probably hear how the public at large regards Yoshidomiya Kinzo. The Yoshidomiya Kinzo known by the public is completely different from the Kinzo who plays with his grandchildren. When she learns, will Angie remember the face of Kinzo the tyrant, known of by the world, or that gently smiling face?
I would hope for her to remember my smile if possible, but such a thing is probably too much to ask for.
There's no way around it. That's what children are.
Oh, it's you.
Children just eat up kindness and it never remains in their memories. By the time 12 years have passed, she will surely learn what a bizarre, eccentric Yoshidomiya Kinzo was. Your smile is fated to be painted over by that and forgotten.
Most probably. No matter how much I spoil her, my love will not be rewarded.
However, just as it takes a long time to remember what you owe your parents, Angie will surely remember someday. She will remember the smiles you showed her.
Let her forget. One smile from her is the greatest parting gift I could ever take with me when my time comes. This is the essence of unrewarded love.
I guess grandfathers are always unrewarded.
Oh, but I have been rewarded. With Angie's smile just now to look back upon, I could happily pass on in my sleep tonight.
With a lonely laugh, Kinzo spun around, setting his cape fluttering. This was all the love he could offer Angie as a grandfather. Part of him wanted to be remembered, but he knew he mustn't wish for that. That was how unrewarded love worked. After looking at Kinzo's back, Beato stared at Angie's back again.
Angie, even so, please remember it someday. Remember the smile that Kinzo once showed you.
Okay, whose quiz should I take next? I'm gonna challenge more and more people, get more and more medals for getting them right, and get a wonderful present to show everyone. Uncle Klaus and Onatsuya are over there. They're looking this way and smiling. I'm sure they've thought up some interesting puzzles. There's Uncle Hideyoshi beckoning for me to come over. He's a fun uncle, so I'm sure he's thought up a fun question. Mom and Dad are across from him. They're waving at me, telling me to have lots of fun. Dad probably knows a lot of really hard questions. He might be tough. Over there's Aunt Rosa and Maria Onechan. It looks like they're reading a quiz book together, searching for a problem. Every now and then Maria Onechan glances over at me saying, "Hee." She can be mean sometimes, so I'm sure her puzzle won't be a nice one. Beyond them are Betla Onechan, George Onechan, and Jessica Onechan. Betla Onechan is usually nice, but he sometimes says really mean things, and I think he likes seeing me get confused. I get the feeling that he'll give me a really tough problem. Is there anyone who looks like they won't be mean? If I can, I'd like to start with some easy puzzles to warm me up. All the way over there are Genji-san and Dr. Nanjo. I don't think those two will be mean to me. And then there's Shannon and Kanon. Shannon knows about a lot of quizzes and fairy tales. I'm sure she'll give me something unique. Then we have Goda-san and Kumasawa-san who are serving tea. Kumasawa-san might be tough. I kinda think she'll give me a really confusing problem. Probably including mackerel. It looks like everyone might be pretty tough.
Angie-chan, I've got a good one for you. Over here.
Uncle Hideyoshi's calling for me. What should I do? Should I go? Do you want to try Uncle Hideyoshi? Yeah, the order doesn't matter. After all, I'm gonna challenge everyone. I rolled up my sleeves and headed towards Uncle Hideyoshi.
Well, here you are. Mine's a tricky one, okay?
I wonder what sort of question you'll give her. Don't make it too hard, okay?
It's okay if it's hard.
Oh, it's okay if it's hard. I'll solve it.
Oh, looking pretty confident there. Okay, here it comes.
After clearing his throat, Uncle Hideyoshi started telling his question.
Mine's a riddle. Listen closely now. You know the story of Momotaro, right?
Oh, the boy who floated down the river in a peach?
That's right. But you know, one day an apple floated down that river.
An apple?
Yup. And the next day a butternut squash floated down it.
What's a butternut squash even? What is that? I hate butternut squash.
And then the next day some cabbage floated down it. And the next day a dill pickle did. And the next day an eggplant floated by. And the day after that a fig did.
What a strange tale. Did a greengrocer live upstream or something?
Okay, here's the question. What floated down the river the next day?
Huh? I've got it. You get it, Angie-chan. I don't get it. Then I'll give you a hint. There's a pattern to the things that float down the river. Can you guess what the pattern is?
What a huge hint.
Apple? Butternuts? I still don't know what that is. A tasty fruit, apparently. I should have saved. Oh, I can't save. I mean, so, apple. Is it the taste, maybe? I mean, apple is sweet, but I don't know what a butternut squash even tastes like. Maybe we should actually look that up. What it is. Okay. You got this one? I have no idea. Apple is sweet, butternut squash is... I don't know. Or is it the kind? Like an apple is a fruit? Squash is a dill pickle. Oh, I have it. It's a grapefruit. Of course it's the grapefruit. Of course it's the grapefruit. Is it? Should I explain why, or is somebody used to still want to think Simon? That was okay. Yeah. Yeah, the dill. I was wondering about the dill. Like, why would you say dill pickle, not just dill, not just pickle? And then it clicked. It's apple is A, butternut is squash is B, cabbage starts with a C, dill pickle with a D, eggplant with an E, a fig with an F, and a grapefruit with a G. I know, it's a grapefruit. That's right. It wasn't one of the choices, but green beans would have worked too, because they start with a green, with a G. The names all follow the alphabet. Apple was A, butternut squash was B, cabbage was C. It kept going with D, E, and F, so after F comes G. That's why the answer had to be something that started with G. You know, I was actually expecting to get closer to the answers again tonight, but instead we're doing quizzes, and I'm actually okay with it, because this is fun. Thanks, Aunt Eva. I got it right thanks to your hint. You solved it by yourself, Auntie Chan. Incredible. Pizzles, yeah. I don't even know what I wanted to say there. Puzzles, quizzes, and somehow I turned into pizzles.
Yeah, nice work. Now here's a medal for getting it right.
Hideyoshi took out a gold color medal and placed it on my palm. It felt heavy in my hand. Yeah, I'm at the adult grape juice. Well, not grape juice, more like Gerstenwasser. I don't know. It felt heavy in my hand. Yeah, this is what
Victory feels like. I'd better keep it up.
I've got another medal for Eva's puzzle, but I can't think of any more. Oh, then maybe I should give Angie-chan a puzzle. Oh, it was Hideyoshi was saying that. I've got another medal for... Okay. Sure, how about a quiz for the princess from her attendant? I've thought of a fun one, so please have a go at it. Aunt Eva smiled brightly. I want to get as many medals as possible, so of course I want as many chances as I can get. Okay, I'll have a go at it. That's the spirit. Okay, here it comes. We've talked about how I love to travel, haven't we? Yeah, you said you like traveling overseas a lot. That's right, so this will be a puzzle about traveling. There was a traveler in a certain place. A traveler? First the traveler walked 5 kilometers north. Oh, don't make it a math puzzle. Should I write this down on a piece of paper? Don't worry, the puzzle isn't that hard, so listening to it will be enough. The traveler first walked 5 kilometers north. Then he walked 5 kilometers to the east. Then he walked 5 kilometers to the south. 5 kilometers north, 5 kilometers east, 5 kilometers south. You mean like a blocky N?
That's right. So he'd end up at the spot 5 kilometers to the east of where he started.
That's what you'd think, right? But incredibly, this traveler ended up in the exact same spot he started. Is something so mysterious possible?
Well, there's no way. His compass must have gone crazy.
Of course it didn't. Do you know, Angie-chan? It wasn't because of his compass. Is this a play on words? No, this is a real quiz. For a hint, why don't you try thinking about a globe? Gotta be a very cold place, right? No. I would say B. I got it. It's a really cold place. Yeah, it must be incredibly cold there. Perfect. Angie-chan, you must really be a genius to get something like that at your age.
If you start at the South Pole, then after you go north, going east just draws a circle around the South Pole, yeah. So anytime you head south again, that just takes you right back to the South Pole.
I tried to make it an extra hard puzzle, but Angie-chan was just too good.
Congrats. Here's another medal for you.
I got a heavy gold-colored medal. Alright, I did it. Aunt Eva and I held up our fists in celebration.
Okay, that's all for our puzzles. Go ask one of the others to give you one.
Okay, thank you, Uncle Hideyoshi. Your aunt's really clever.
With the two of you together, you'll be getting medals right or left.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, let's do our best together, Aunt Eva. I dashed away. Who will I ask next? Uncle Hideyoshi waved goodbye, smiling. Hideyoshi and Eva watched as Angie ran off happily, looking for the next quiz.
Even though
that kid can wear such a cute smile, I will be the one who takes that away from her.
Eva.
Eva hung her head. A single tear sparkled in her eye. Her reaction was only natural considering how she felt, but I wasn't able to see past it and accept her feelings.
Can't be helped. You're as human as anyone else. Humans tend to be more fragile than you'd think.
Even so, it was my fault. After all, I already had the experience of bringing up a child, right? I should have become her mother. And yet I let sadness overwhelm me, and I didn't do it at all.
Can't be helped, to tell you. Don't think you were the only one at fault. You shouldn't blame yourself so much.
By now, Eva was unable to hold back her sobs. Large tears dripped down her cheeks as she stared at the ground and shook. Well, that's sad all of a sudden. What a sin I've committed. My sadness was no greater than hers, and yet I decided that I was suffering the most, so I didn't accept her feelings. I'm a failure of a mother. I wasn't able to become a mother for her.
It's wrong. You did your best for her, Eva-san.
Oh, that's Kiria. That's wrong, you did your best for her, Eva-san. Kiria-san. Kiria and Riddle were standing behind Eva now. I know the length you went to keep the truth from Angie.
You held out well, Aniki. Guess that daughter of yours really has been a pain and clueless about how much you suffered.
After the accident on Orokanjima, Eva, the only one who left Orokanjima alive, adopted Angie, the girl who had been absent and survived. While they would eventually develop a sad and mutually painful relationship, it wasn't like that at first. Eva tried to show affection for Angie, her last remaining blood relative. She tried to become Angie's new mother, even as she fought back the sadness she herself felt. However, Angie wasn't able to accept that kindness. She lashed out at Eva, the only one who had returned alive, for stealing her parents away from her. Eva, understanding the wounds that this little 6-year-old girl bore, withstood these attacks. She grit her teeth and poured all of her affection onto Angie, affection that went ignored. However, the wounds Eva herself bore were also extremely deep. She was never rewarded for her sad efforts, and the future in front of her grew dark. You tried to show Angie the same affection you once showed George-kun. But that was just for my own satisfaction. Angie-chan never felt any of it.
Angie was the one who couldn't accept it. It isn't your fault.
But who could possibly ask that of Angie-chan when she was just 6 years old? I should have held out much, much longer, until she could understand my feelings. Eva-san, I want you to believe one thing. We don't blame you in the slightest. Kiria-san, thank you so much for suffering so long for Angie's sake. If that kid has a human heart, then I'm sure she will recognize the affection you showed her someday.
Thank you, Aniki. We'll always be grateful.
Well, that's just sad now.
Isn't it wonderful, Eva? Your efforts haven't gone unnoticed.
Sorry. And I, Kumasawa, have a very tricky puzzle for you. It doesn't matter how hard it is. I'm not alone. I'll solve it with Aunt Eva. Goda and Kumasawa offered to challenge me. I'll have to go up against everyone in the end, so it doesn't matter who comes next. I waved at Aunt Eva to hurry up, and she ran toward me. So we're challenging this pair next. Who will we start with? Okay, Goda-san.
Very well, as you wish. Here is my puzzle.
I'll warn you, it's a toughie. I'll still solve it. I've gotten the knack of it. You better not underestimate Angie-chan. Right? Right.
My. Well then, being the humble chef that I am, here's a puzzle about food in the kitchen.
We'll fight together this time. If you don't get it, just ask me to lend a hand. I'll give you a hint. If I get a hint, does that mean I won't get a medal?
It won't affect your medals at all, so feel free to ask away.
Oh shit. The hell? In a witch's house, there was a magic kitchen. Every day it would serve a freshly made meal for the witch when she returned at an appointed time. One day, the witch had to work very late. When she finally got home, all of the food greeted her. "Welcome home, Great Witch. I've made some vegetable stew for you," said the stew in the pot. "Welcome home, Great Witch. Please quickly dip me in the stew and eat me," said the hard bread. "Welcome home, Great Witch. You must be thirsty. Please drink me right away," said the white wine. "Welcome home, Great Witch. If you eat me, the heat of the day will be wiped away," said the ice cream dessert. Now then, one of these is lying. Which one is it? So, "I've made some vegetable stew for you," said the stew in the pot. Okay, first of all, who's talking? Stew is talking, bread is talking, wine is talking, and the ice cream is talking. Never thought I would say that. I'm just automatically suspicious of the ice cream for some reason. Did you have to ask for this, Aaron? You probably didn't. Why would one of these be lying? I mean, the bread is referring to the stew. It's the only one of those that refers to some of the other dishes, right? But what would they even be lying about? Yeah, I'm not... I've got it. The hint here is that the witch got home much later than usual. What happens when she gets home later than usual? Think carefully. The food is always freshly made and served at the usual time, right? I would assume that the ice cream should already have melted. So what happens when she gets home long after that? Because like the temperature of the ice cream made me suspicious immediately. But yeah, now I think now it becomes clear. The witch came home very late, and the ice cream tells her that it would cool her down, so to speak. But since she comes home very late, I mean, the food didn't know that, right? The food prepared itself at the usual time. Or should have prepared, yeah. The food prepared itself at the usual time. So the ice cream cannot be cold anymore because she came home much later than she should have. So the ice cream still claiming that it would wipe away the heat of the day cannot be true anymore because the ice cream will not be cold anymore. It would more probably be some, already warm, gooey stuff. I'm gonna say D. Maybe you should say first. The ice cream. The witch got back really late, so the ice cream would have melted. So she couldn't eat it. Nicely done. Well, I mean, she could eat it, but it wouldn't be cold anymore, so it wouldn't wipe away the heat of the day. See, Angie-chan is a clever girl, isn't she?
Congratulations, Angie-sama. Very impressive. How quickly you saw through the puzzle that I, Gora, put all my efforts into.
It was totally easy. Aunt Ava's puzzle was harder. Oh, don't need to be mean about it. Thanks.
Congratulations. This medal is your prize for answering my question correctly.
Thank you. Okay, that was easy. Well, was it? Now let's take a shot at Kumasawa-san's puzzle. I mean, it was not hard, but it was the longest we thought about anything so far. Looks like I'm up next.
Yeah, if your puzzle's not gonna have mackerels in it, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Now let's test Angie-sama with my specially made super hard puzzle. Are you ready? How hard is it? Ha ha ha, you'll have to wait and see.
And now let the
I knew it. I'm disgusted and happy at the same time. Let the mackerel lizard puzzle begin. Mackerel lizard? This is Kumasawa-san we're talking about, so you can bet it'll be a strange one. Be careful. Okay. The cook was in trouble. Dinner had been fully prepared except for the dessert, but he had no ingredients except sabara, mackerel, and leftovers. Then the cook had a flash of inspiration. By changing just a single letter, he could make a grand dessert out of those leftovers. Which letter did he change? Well, in that case, do you mean letters from the Japanese term? Sahara? Okay, I already see. That's a stupid joke. I noticed the one letter less. Oh no, now I gave a hint away. I wanted the chat to try to solve it as well. I think you already solved it now that I gave away that hint. That's so stupid. Yeah. What is that like in Japanese, though? I guess I can't change to Japanese here. It was harder in Japanese. Okay. Should I proceed, or do you want to give your own guess first, Simon? Otherwise, I will just... No, but that doesn't change this. He could make a grand desert. Desert has one letter less than dessert over here, higher up. So if you change the B to an H, you have Sahara, which is a desert. And if that is not the right answer, then I don't know what is. That's the only idea I have. I got it. The letter is B. If you change the B in Sabara to an H, you get Sahara. Yeah. That's correct. The last line said you could make a grand desert out of Sabara. That's why I said earlier that I did notice the missing letter. But it's a definitely huge facepalm riddle. Not dessert. I figured out a trick in Japanese and English. Am I awesome? Am I awesome? You're so smart, Angie-chan. You deserve a pat on the head. So what do they say here? It's just saba. It's just saba is the dish, and if you add a ku to it, you get sabaku, which means desert. You deserve a pat on the head. I like it when you do that. Just change a single letter and even mackerel can make a fine desert. Are you starting to see mackerel's true power? I'm starting to see your true idiocy.
I am forced to serve a joke like that for dessert. I imagine heads will roll.
Definitely. I wouldn't like it either. I like ice cream for dessert. Of course. By the way, we shouldn't be worried, should we? What about tonight's dessert? Oh, I can hardly wait to surprise everyone with a mackerel fruit parfait waiting there in the kitchen.
Don't you dare.
No! Everyone burst out laughing. For some time after that, I was tormented by the terrifying image of a buffet neatly topped with mackerel chunks. Yeah, I think terrifying is exactly the right word for that. What a shame. I tried so hard to stop Angie-sama from getting that prize, but she solved my best riddle like it was nothing. Though she said that, Kumasawa smiled. I should try butternut squash. Would I like it as a person that is not a big fan of pumpkins, though? Because I am not a big fan of pumpkins. I don't hate them. It's not like I can't eat them. And I sometimes actually like eating them, but I'm just not. It's not my number one choice. A gold-colored medal glittered in her wrinkly hand. Angie took it. Well then, it's all for our puzzles. Oh yeah, you mentioned it tastes like nuts, so I guess... Well, I can give it a try if I ever find one anywhere. Oh, sorry.
Please come up the pace, get more and more medals, and win that splendid prize on the master.
Okay, thank you. I'll keep it up. We did it, Aunt Ava. Hey, let's keep it up. We rushed away. Okay, who should we take on next? We're gonna get all those medals.
It seems that all of a sudden the tiny girl who used to hide and tremble in Kira-sama's shadow has grown.
Going to be so bright and cheery.
With each passing family conference, one can feel the growth of those youngsters. After just a few years more, Angie-sama will surely learn of love, of makeup, and will eventually grow to become a true lady.
Very true. If she grows normally with the passing time, that is. You didn't get all of them right? Well, I mean, we have the save function, so we can just save scum in the worst case scenario. A cruel fate will force the chick called Angie into a lonely future. If an egg isn't warmed, it won't hatch. The egg she is now will not be warmed by anyone, and it will not hatch. Inside that frozen egg, will Angie-sama have no choice but to face an isolated future? An eggshell can always be broken from the inside. A cold shell may be very, very hard, but that doesn't mean it cannot be broken.
Does Angie-sama have the strength to do that?
Oh, heavens, to do. Is she capable of achieving that or not? I hear that question is what this final game is all about.
Perhaps we should have sent her a clearer message. If the egg cannot be warmed, could we not at least strike it from the outside to make it easier to crack?
If a chick without the power to break its own shell is forced outside of the egg, it won't be able to withstand the cold winds. Angie-sama will have to find that power and resilience herself. But can we not somehow explain that power and resilience to her? Words mean nothing if they are merely given. They must also be accepted. No matter what we try to give Angie-sama, it will be meaningless unless she accepts it. You're right, yeah. If I get one riddle wrong, I'm going to close the game and delete my save files. No matter what we try to tell her, it won't matter unless she listens. Ho ho ho, we can do nothing but watch over her. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
We can do nothing, but pray that Angie-sama chooses a better future for herself.
If Angie-sama does not abandon herself to anger for the sole purpose of distracting herself from her resignation and sadness, if she can just be honest about that one single wish that she truly desires more than anything else, then you can be certain that she will make her greatest wish come true. It is ironic. Since the very beginning she has been denying that greatest wish of hers herself. Laughter brings happiness. Tears bring misfortune. Those who believe will be saved. People have the power to create their own futures by the strength of their emotions.
I wish we could just let her hear those words.
Sama is very strict. He's hoping that Angie will realize it by her own power alone and is not permitting even words of this nature to be told to her.
It seems we can do nothing but watch over her.
And so let us at least pray that she grasps the world she desires most with her own hands.